morning. SABC News reporter Fikile Mbalula is standing by for us. Of course, Fikile, a few minutes ago, we saw President Cyril Ramaphosa being flanked with some members of the NEC. Talk to us about the reaction on the ground.
Yes, indeed, Unathi Pachaza, the ANC's President Cyril Ramaphosa and President of the Republic was flanked alongside the entire National Executive Committee of the party and also the Palestinian High Commission, who was seated next to him, saying thank you for representing and for standing up for the people of Palestine. But as my colleagues Sophie Mukwena and also Sharon Bryce-Peace just said, that there was no provisional order of a humanitarian ceasefire that the UN and South Africa may have wanted. But I'm going to bring in the Secretary-General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula. Mr. Mbalula, just the essence of the response of the provisional measures being put in place by the International Court of Justice and on Israeli, and also just falling short of saying that there must be a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza, not going to that extent, which is what South Africa may have wanted, and also the UN Security Council.
Thank you very much, Samkele. This is not the end in itself. I think the legal people will study the judgment and the implications of the judgment legally. What is it still that needs to be done going forward to ensure that what is right, it is actually going to be done. I think on our part, as the African National Congress, we are elated in the sense that the world agrees with us that there's something wrong and there's something that is being done in the form of genocide, and this is what is important for us. And as a result, the whole world today have held Israel and basically make them to account, not only to account and give us the provisional order that it has given, with an option of even going further in terms of ensuring that humanitarian aid is fast-tracked, but over and above that, the possibility of a total ceasefire and is very important going forward.
Are you, as the African National Congress, particularly vindicated knowing that you've stood with the struggles of the people of Palestine, from President Mandela, going to President Mbeki, President Motlanthe, President Zuma, and ultimately now President Ramaphosa, taking this bold initiative of going to the International Court of Justice and having these provisional measures placed on behalf of Israel?
Yes, it is for the first time that South Africa has taken extraordinary measures like this. But over and above that, there was no way that we can pull back. South Africa remembers that the people of Palestine cannot be forsaken. But we again applaud the huge spirit of solidarity around the globe that is with us in condemning what is happening in the Middle East, particularly the Israeli perpetrated war against the Palestinian people.
Are you prepared for any economic sanctions or economic hardships that South Africa may be having imposed by the Israeli government? We do know that the national airline of Israel has decided to cancel all of its flights coming to South Africa.
We are on the side of justice, and humanity agrees with us today. And when we were fighting apartheid, the world was on our side, and many countries took a sacrifice to fight alongside to ensure that sanctions are imposed and we are free from apartheid. Today, what South Africa is doing is right. What the people of the world are doing is right, to say stop the carnage, stop the occupation, and then guarantee self-determination for the people of Palestine. Peace and freedom is what the people of Palestine aim for, and it must be delivered.
Are you, however, not sad or taken aback that the court didn't go as far as to saying there must be an immediate humanitarian ceasefire of any conflict in that particular strip of Palestine and Gaza?
The message is conveyed. That will actually follow in relation to what, in terms of the context of the law and international law, still need to be done. So it's not an end in itself. So the judgment will be studied, and those who understand the law will actually ensure that the right decisions are pursued to the end.
Thank you very much, Secretary-General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula. We're also going to try and just get the Minister of Justice, Ronald Lamola, to just react on this particular judgment, to squeeze in just 2 minutes further, because he was one who presented South Africa's case to the International Court of Justice. Mr. Ronald Lamola, in your capacity as the Minister, just your reaction on that particular judgment and the case that South Africa presented, and you launching South Africa's heads of arguments there with the opening statement.
Yeah, this is a victory for the international rule of law and also for the children, the women and the vulnerable people of Gaza. It's also an assertion of a long-standing South Africa's positions with regards to the United Nations positions. And as you are aware, the Freedom Charter declared that there must be peace and prosperity across the globe. So this is a humbling experience for our country. I do believe that Nelson Mandela will be smiling in his grave.
Mr. Lamola, just the essence of the International Court falling just short of saying there must be a humanitarian ceasefire. Are you disappointed that they did not get there, of saying there must be an immediate ceasefire in that particular conflict?
No, we are not disappointed because the measures that they have put, I think they will still respond. Obviously, the court has a wider discretion in terms of the decisions that it can make. So with those measures, the reports that they have to provide and all that, I do believe that we'll be able to see cessation of fire. And also, obviously, with the international pressure, with the work that we still have to do with the court, I do believe that we'll be able to reach a situation where the children of Gaza can see peace, and the women and the elders in the area.
Just the reaction of NEC members, I saw them flanking you, chanting songs, just the jubilation in the National Executive Committee. What does this mean for South Africa? What does it mean for the National Executive Committee of the governing party, knowing where you come with the struggles of the people of Palestine?
Yeah, it means that our standing on principle does pays off, because as you are aware, we have been threatened that there will be sanctions and all kind of things by the West and all that. But the members of the NEC and the ANC in general across the country gave support to government. They gave us a mandate and we carried that mandate. So it means a lot for us that we've been able to stand by the principles that Nelson Mandela stood for, by the principles that various ANC structures, including government, have stood for. So we've been unwavering. That shows that you cannot at any time dispense a principle for the sake of political expediency. And I believe that this is a lesson to the international community that only a rules-based society can function, can work. We must all stand for that, even in our country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ronald Lamola. They are taking him there in his capacity as the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services.
Thank you so much, Fikile Mbalula, there for us.